In today's project, I'll be doing a whole bunch of collaging, stenciling, and decoupaging. If you're interested in creating this canvas or something similar, you're welcome to click on the PayHip link below and get my digital download files. So let's get started. I'm going to start by applying a good amount of Mod Podge that's watered down a little bit onto my canvas, and then I'm going to apply my 11 by 17 sheet. I love these verses from 1 Corinthians 13, but I made another option for those who prefer it. Use an old credit card to try and get all the bubbles out, and then I'll put a nice coat of Mod Podge over the top, and then I'll use a baby wipe to pounce all over just to make my texture all nice and even. While my canvas is drying, I'm going to trace and cut out my heart focal point. Now I'm using my paper trimmer to cut off the white edges of my papers, and then I'm going to start cutting them into some random sizes. I have no idea what I'm going to use yet exactly, but I just need a jumping off point. I got out a darker green piece of cardstock just to help me go through and decide kind of the design of how I'm going to lay my papers down. Of course, this will all change in the end, but I like to have an idea of what I'm going to do before I start decoupaging. Now that my canvas is dry, I can cut off the excess and I can start painting. So I'm putting out some of my Admiral Blue, adding a little bit of dark gray to it, and then some of my white. I'm going to use my popsicle stick to mix up my paints. This is my preferred method. I get a lot of use out of these popsicle sticks. Now I'm going to put a little bit of my khaki out, and then again the Admiral Gray, and I'm going to dip my chip brush into some water, then into my paint. I want to be able to see what's in my background through that paint, so I just want it watered down a little bit. Then I'm going to come in with my baby wipe here in a second and pounce around, and I'll do this with all three colors until I get it to where it just makes me happy. Using my light blue and a little bit of water to paint over my medallion rose. And then when they're dry, I'm going to just do a rough cut to figure out which ones I want to use. And then I will cut those out with my scissors. I decide I want these hanging over the edge, so I'm going to lift up my heart and then cut each of them so they look like they're, like that. I was originally selling these as a kit on Etsy, so you see me talking to the camera a lot with my hands. It's time to decoupage everything on, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on my left and work to my right. As I mentioned before, I like to water down my Mod Podge a little bit. I just like the way it behaves better. And I'm going to put a little bit down, and I'm going to smush to get the bubbles out, and then I'm going to apply some Mod Podge over the top. I like to tap it on with my brush so that I don't have brush strokes. And I'll just keep working my way down and across. When I've got all my collage pieces on, I'm going to put a nice coat of Mod Podge all over I want all my texture to be the same in the background. When my canvas is dry, I'm going to take my dark gray and my liner brush, and I'm going to go around and just define all my edges. I don't want a real stark line, so I'm going to smush it with my fingers to kind of blur it just a little bit and make it not perfect. I'm mixing up my Admiral Blue, a drop of dark gray, and a little bit of white to make a little bit darker blue now to do my stenciling. I'm going to stencil this blue onto the white papers only. I like painting on a Mod Podge surface because it's super easy to use a baby wipe to clean up any areas where I've gone over or don't like the look of what I've done. Wipes right up. Once that's dry, I'm going to come in with my dark gray and my liner brush and just touch up any of those areas so that my blue stenciled area is in the background. Now I'm going to go around the edges with my dark gray just to kind of finish them off. I don't always do this, but a lot of times if I put them in a frame, it really doesn't matter because you're not going to see that edge. But a lot of times I like to display them without a frame. Just prop them up on a table somewhere. Anyway, it's personal preference, but I'm doing it here. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, leave me a comment, and maybe even subscribe. Hope you'll join me next time.